The best hook has depth. It's not using hacks, secrets, shortcuts to catch attention. The best hooks shows the depth behind the content. If we spend on average 28 seconds looking at art in museums, to retain the attention your content needs to be better than art. Because the problem is twofold. Humans have bad attention spans, it's hard to catch and keep attention. When I started my content creation journey, I searched for the best hooks. I even analyzed viral videos, what they do, which I didn't. I even crafted my hooks like I was an architect. I have to put FOMO here, then reciprocity here to get the attention. It didn't work, but then I didn't know why. I was using what the gurus told me are great. But they don't work because they only show you the tip of the iceberg. They show what worked for them, not why it's working, but today I'm going to change that. Your hooks don't work because you're trying to make it work. Great hooks are not created while thinking about how can I hook the viewer. It's the same effect when you're trying to fall asleep but you can't because you're thinking about falling asleep. This is performance anxiety, when you're so focused on outcome that you cannot achieve it. If you're trying to place together a perfect hook, it will not work because a perfect hook doesn't have a structure and it doesn't have a written script. A perfect hook is like water. It can become any shape it wants. A father who thinks he's a good father is not a good father. By thinking that this hook will catch their attention, you fall into making mistakes. You have to forget the idea of catching their attention. A hook created with specific elements like FOMO, reciprocity, XYZ things put them together will not work. Humans are much more complicated than structured hooks. They don't watch the content because of FOMO or some kind of tricks. Think about yourself. You're sitting outside on a hot summer day and a beautiful butterfly passes by. You're paying attention to it even though it wasn't scripted or it wasn't using any kind of attention hacks. Or when you're sitting in front of YouTube, there are hundreds of videos but you only click on one. Do you listen to the hook and be like, should I stay or should I leave? No, I don't think so. Something from within made you click on that video. The best basketball players, when they go on the court, they don't think. They are not thinking about dunking, landing the shot or doing a step back. They are playing from instinct. The best stock traders are not thinking. They don't think whether to invest or not. They are not even analyzing the charts. They have done it so much that when they look on a chart, they know what to do. And the best creators don't think about hooking the viewer. They create a hook to leave an impact on the viewer. But this happens without a conscious thought. The problem with putting in place hooks is that people feel it. People feel the shallowness of that content. Content depth attracts the viewer. They are drawn to a deep, meaningful conversation, an intricate idea that is presented to them and they can think about. My hook didn't work because I used some kind of tactic. My hook worked because I have something meaningful to say. People feel that. People feel the depth of the content but just by listening to the hook. In arts, Mona Lisa is the perfect example for that. While other painting has 28 seconds of attention, the Mona Lisa has daily 30,000 visitors. How did Leonardo da Vinci create this painting? With depth. In the Renaissance, painting was painted with oil paint. So each painting has more layers. Usually they have 6 to 5 layers. But the Mona Lisa has 30 to 40 layers. That's 5 times the depth. Also it doesn't have edges and Leonardo didn't use sketch, but that's for another time. But how does the Mona Lisa matter for hooks? If you compare two pieces of art, the Mona Lisa and another one, each can be equally beautiful, but the Mona Lisa for some reason pulls you in. It's the depth behind it. It's the same with hooks. You can compare two equally good hooks. There is no surface level difference, but one has depth behind it. And that depth pulls you in. Depth captures your hooks. A good hook does one job well. It shows the depth of the content. Just as the Mona Lisa captures your attention because the depth behind it. If I'm talking about a topic which I don't understand or I haven't even thought about, that is going to show off in my hook. There's a magical touch in art, quotes or pictures which immediately catches your attention. It's the conscious work behind the idea. You cannot fake that. It's there or not. Let's analyze this picture. The attention flows to the right. That's the attention on social media. Imagine a line that is the platform. The attention flows on the platform. But there are holes. That's the content. The content tries to catch the attention by pulling it in. The depth of the content defines the gravitational pull of the hook. If the attention starts descending into a deep content, it cannot escape. Your goal as a content creator is not to create a good hook, but to create meaningful content and show that off in your hook. People will get trapped because they want to know more. Your advice is good and your knowledge is vast and people are drawn to that. If your content doesn't have depth right now, it's the lack of knowledge and information. In the next letter, I'm going to talk about how to become a modern day polymath. But you have to make your content rich with ideas and build trust and loyalty with persuasion. Let's go in depth about arousing curiosity in your content, building trust with persuasion and building your audience's awareness. Curiosity loops. Curiosity is the only emotional state that pushes you forward. It helps you learn, grow and develop new ideas. That's why using it in the hook is so powerful. If you get the viewer curious, they cannot help themselves, they need to consume your content. I know 4 ways of how we can get them curious. First, change. We know one thing about humans, they are drawn to change, they want transformation. People want to go through a transformation. People don't like to change personally, but we like to go through a transformation through a hero on a journey. We humans evolved to look for changes. 10,000 years ago you haven't noticed the change in the bust, a sound, then that could have led to death. That's why right now we pay a lot of information to change and transformation. Intentionally or not, but I've used the transformation in my hook. I have implied a change in your mental model. You believe that hooks should be structured and pre-written, and I went against that. I have implied a change in your thinking and content creation. Let me give you an example from a book. When I wake up, the other side of the bed is cold. This implies a change. You are now curious what happened and you want to know more. An example from a Mr. Beast philanthropy video. A few months ago, on the top of a mountain more than 2,700 meters high, in a remote area of Nepal, this hospital looked like this. It shows a change, how the hospital looked before and how it looks now. People are hooked now because they want to know what happened which made that hospital look so good and before it was nothing. People want to piece the puzzle together, so if you imply transformation and show just enough so they get curious, they will want to know more and they will watch the video. I went more in depth into changing my video about storytelling. Check that out here. Facts. Facts make people curious. Did you know that bananas are technically berries but strawberries aren't? You cannot tell me that this fact doesn't make you curious. Using facts like this can help you a lot with creating a content. I have also used the fact, if you remember I mentioned 28 seconds is the average time people spend on looking at art in museums. That's actually pretty sad. We go to a museum where we intend to look at art and be free and we spend 28 seconds looking at art. We have almost no attention span. That's why I have chosen this fact because it relates to the topic. An example from a Mr. Beast video. Every year over 200,000 children are born without the ability to smile and even worse, breathe properly. He presents the fact with what we call framing. Framing is shifting the perception by showing the content in a particular context. The fact from Mr. Beast video is that 0.1% are born with that disease. Now that doesn't sound quite impactful, so they have used the 200,000 because that is something more impactful. Another example from Mr. Beast video. In just the USA, over 550 million people have limited transportation. He also uses framing here to leave a bigger impact because the fact states that 45% of people have limited transportation. Of course that is a lot, but it doesn't sound quite impactful. But this perfectly shows how can you use a fact to start your video. Don't complicate this, just say a fact and go from there. But don't say facts that doesn't have any relation to your topic. Just do a little bit of research. ChatGPT can easily give you some examples if you just ask for facts from your topic. Third, questions. Have you ever wondered why your hooks don't work? Asking a provocative question like this can hook in the viewer. But when you use them, don't act smart. Don't present yourself like you are a king. Be a real person. So don't say something like, why you are stupid, because then you are expressing how you are not stupid, but the viewer is only the stupid, and that's going to create a distance and that's not going to work correctly in your video. In my other letter, which is about how to talk to cameras, I have used this as my starting point. You can check that out here. Let's use an example from Mr. Beast. What if I told you that this card alone has saved over 3 million people from malnutrition? When I was searching for hooks, when I watched this video, I was like, okay, I want to watch this video, I'm just so curious. And when you have that, you're hooked. You're going to stay there. That's the power of a good hook. It piques curiosity. Another example from Mr. Beast. This is $1,000 in cash, and if you suddenly came across this kind of money, no strings attached, what would you spend it on? A powerful question like this starts your thinking, and if you are thinking about it, you are hooked. Fourth, problems. People are consuming content because they want their problems solved. They lack clarity, they lack information, they lack motivation. They are searching for the answer, so if you present your solution to that problem, they will be curious. Of course, you have to target the right level of awareness, but we are going to talk about that a bit later. An example from Mr. Beast. Imagine living in a scorching heat with no access to food, water or electricity, while constantly fearing for your safety. The first sentence shows what are the problems of people who are living in Africa, and when you hear that, you are connecting to them because you don't want that, you have that fear of feeling that problem. This is from one of Iman Gadzhi's video. The most important part of any business, especially an agency, is your ability to sell. But unfortunate thing is that 99% of beginner agency owners have absolutely no idea how to sell. It touches on a deep problem you have, selling, and that is why you want to hear what is the next step so you can sell. Use well-known problems people face and show them that you have the answer, and you're going to have curious viewers. If you have done this correctly, you have the attention of the viewer. They now want more, but we have one big problem we have to solve, and that is how you make them trust you. Because we are creating value, that's okay, but if the value is created and you're giving it but no one is taking it, it's not going to work. So how do you do that? Build trust. Persuasion is not manipulation. Persuasion is not wrong, but it can be wrong if used incorrectly. If I persuade you to lose weight, that's not wrong, but if I persuade you to take some psychoactive substances, that is manipulation. I never done that, so I'm not advocating for that. This is just an example. The point is that persuasion can be positive if it's a positive change for both sides. If you sign up for my coaching, which is free for a limited time by the way, and if I solve your problem problems, even though it was persuasion, it's going to be positive for both sides. You must understand that persuasion can be positive before you want to use it. But how does persuasion work? Persuasion is the influence of other people's beliefs, thoughts and ideas through reasoning or emotional appeal. If I want you to lose weight, I can reason why it's a good idea and maybe you will do it. Now, persuasion can be categorized into groups of this works and this doesn't. Until the influence happens in a positive way, it's persuasion. Blair Warren studied his entire life persuasion. He put together one sentence that shows you how to persuade. People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicion and help them throw rock at enemies. Before we move forward and start talking about the 5 components, there is one crucial aspect that you shouldn't miss. That is, there is no I or me in that sentence. Because persuasion is not about me or you or anyone, it's about who are you trying to persuade. I don't matter when I'm trying to persuade, only the viewer. There are 5 components in there. First, encourage their dreams. Second, justify their failures. Third, allay their fears. Fourth, confirm their suspicion. 5, help them throw rock at enemies. Each of these components can be used, but it's not a must. For mutual understanding, know that we are going to use the example of losing weight as what I would be creating content around. First, encourage their dreams. People are drawn to people who are encouraging that they can achieve their goals. The best speakers and leaders are all focusing on moving the masses while encouraging one big dream, one big goal they want to achieve. In my content, what I could say is that you can lose 5 kilograms in the next month. All of my clients have done it, you can do it too. I'm encouraging the person that they can achieve their goals. Second, justify failure. People have failed many times and those are sitting as burden on their weight. You have to lift that off. You have to lift the burden and say that they are not the causes of this problem. Every successful person on Instagram, like these gurus, say that, oh, the inability to make money is because of the elites, you know. They are justifying your failure. You're not making money because of the elites. If I would want to help people lose weight, I could say, your tries of losing weight failed because of the wrong education, not because of you. Do you see that how can I immediately turn to my product? I'm lifting the weight from their back because it's not them who are the problem or the causers of this problem, but the education, the wrong education. Third, allay their fears. People fear the new. It's from evolution, because what if there is a predator in the bush? Is this change, you know, with fear, what is going to come at us? You have to allay their fears from the idea you are presenting to them. So if you're watching a VSL from gurus, this is not the typical business model. You can succeed in 1 hour of work. This all comes to the group of allaying your fear of why do you not want to buy the product. What I could say is that with my method, you don't have to cut your sugar, you don't have to run every day, you don't have to sweat every day, and still you can lose 5 kilograms in the next month. I'm allaying their fear because it's not going to be hard, it's going to be easy. Fourth, confirm their suspicion. People like it when they are right. If I come to you with an information about a famous person who you hate, you're going to be like, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. And I'm going to say, like, I don't know, let's say Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'm going to say something which you haven't knew about, and it's something which is dissing Leonardo DiCaprio, and you hate him as a actor, let's say, you're going to be like, I knew that person is bad, I knew. That's the power of confirming suspicion. If I have to implement this in my content, I would say you're still overweight because you haven't got the right information yet. No one told you the real way of losing weight. Overweight people think a lot of times that it's not about calories in and calories out, but something else. Just like them, you believe that hooks are private and hooks have to be placed together one by one. You think there are secret ingredients to hook, and when a guru tells you that, I'm going to be like, I knew, that's why I didn't get views. It's the secret ingredient to hooks. I didn't know that, that's why I didn't get views. No, it's not, but just you believe this. Fifth, help them throw rocks at enemies. People love it when they have a common enemy. There's the quote of enemy of my enemy is my friend. Guess where that comes from? People love it when there is a partner in the fight. They love it when someone joins and fights them against someone else. If I were to use this, I would say the companies which are creating your food, they are the ones. They put sugar, oil and corn syrup in your food. They want you fatigued. Right now I'm joining the fight against these companies, of course from their side. These were the 5 components of persuasion. Use this in your content and people are going to be more drawn to you. They will like you more and they will want to know more about you. You will be their leader. I have analyzed a lot of videos, just as I have mentioned in the beginning, but there's a huge amount of sentences like this. That's because these sentences work. But if you don't believe they work, look through the video and let's see how much you can find. I suffered a lot with implementing this into my content creation, but the way that works for me is mapping out the beliefs of these people. Because these sentences revolves around your beliefs. If I'm explaining that hooks are not structure, they need to be free, they are free. I have to break down your bad beliefs about hooks and I have to build up my beliefs, which I want you to believe. This is persuasion. So how do I do it? Is, well, implementing these sentences which are going to build down your already existing belief and building up the right ones. And this is existing everywhere. If you watch Iman Gajji's videos are the best examples for that. Making you believe that agencies are the best model. He's very good at that. If you want to know more about this and you want to implement this in your content, fill out the form below and I'm going to help you out. It's me asking some questions of what are you suffering with and I'm going to help you. Build their awareness. The problem which you can face with your content is that people don't trust you and they don't care. So we have solved that with curiosity and persuasion. But there's another one which is they don't understand. They read your message, they watch your video, they don't know what you're talking about. It's because you didn't make them aware. This is what we call the levels of awareness. Quickly an example before my explanation. If I say to you right now that choose the blue color in your personal brand and you will build trust, do you understand what I'm talking about? No, because I didn't make you aware. You are unaware right now. I have to move you inwards on the levels of awareness. There are 5 levels of awareness. Unaware, they don't know they have a problem. Problem aware, they know they have a problem but don't know how to solve it. Solution aware, they know they have a problem and they know there is a solution. They know they have a problem and you have the solution to that problem. Most aware, they are one step before buying your product. Every person can be qualified in this awareness stage. Let's take the same weight loss example. Unaware, they don't know that being overweight is bad. Problem aware, they know being overweight is bad for your health. Solution aware, they know that it's bad and they know they can lose weight. Product aware, they know it's bad and you have a solution for that. Most aware, they are willing to make the move to buy the product with a simple push. So how does this come to hooks? Because it's much more complicated than just hooks. Well, because if you're writing your hook, if you're targeting the wrong level of awareness, you're going to get much less views. If I'm targeting the people who are overweight and I'm going to say this is how you lose weight, this targets the problem aware people, and if those people who are unaware of their problem, they're not going to watch the video because they don't know about it. That is how really short videos perform really well, because they target the unaware, the beginner people. Like websites, tools or hacks or secrets, these are unaware people. People don't know they have a problem, they just want to use the hacks. They don't know there is a problem behind all of this. So if I want to maximize my potential of reaching the people, I have to make sure that I use the right level of awareness. Doing this on one short form content is not possible. You cannot bring someone from being unaware to most aware. Like, it's not possible. You are not able to build that much trust, you're not able to build that awareness. But in one long form content you can do this easily. But if you want to create multiple content that reaches the maximum people, brings them down on the awareness scale, then you can do this like this. One video is going to be about side effects of being overweight, so you make them unaware to problem aware. Next video is about 3 topics to lose weight, problem aware to solution aware. Next video is about how one of your clients lost 5 kilograms in 1 month, so solution aware to product aware. The next video is about a special sale, product aware to must aware. You will give them a discount code and they have bought your product. This is how through your content you can move people in from the levels of awareness to most aware, and they are going to buy your product. Also, this is how you write good fucking hooks. You need curiosity, you need them to trust you, and you need them to move inside your circles. This all needs to happen in one piece of content. Of course, it has to be deep. We haven't even talked about the topic of the content. So you have, I don't know, if you want to create a video about being overweight, this all needs to happen, these 3 at the same time, and also you need to write a really deep explanation of the topic. So if you want help with creation of your personal brand or content creation itself, fill the form out down below. We are going to hop on one-on-one calls. Check the link. It's no strings attached, one-on-one free XYZ things. You know, this shitty stuff I have to tell you in order to make that happen. It's down there. If you want help, go and check it out. Also, my free product, the OQP framework to change your life, is down there. You can check it out. See you in the next one.